Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Over, under, Vegas spread picks for the NFL divisional round. Last week we were on a heater, and honestly, we've been on a heater all year, and I saw we had some new viewers on the total video. Welcome. Let's get this money. I'm going to try to keep it as organized as possible. We're going to work in some team totals. First game, reverse order. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. Over, under, 51. Money, money, money. Borderline. I'm going under the 51. Listen, when you have two top three offenses going at each other, when you have two top five quarterbacks going at one another, you don't like to go under. But let's be honest about something. Playoff football is different, and both of these offenses are explosive, but both of these offenses can be very methodical at the same time. I think we see a more methodical game. Now let's get to the first side of the ball. Let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens offense. Is Zay Flowers going to play? I'm not sure. Even if he does play, I think he will be limited, and I think we're not going to see the same Zay Flowers. That does take away a little bit of big play potential. But the main equation to this, for this going under for me, is the Baltimore Ravens run game. I think they're going to run it early, and I think they're going to run it often. And I feel like that's a great way to attack the Buffalo Bills. And also, the Buffalo Bills style of defense is pretty straightforward. They like to put the two safeties back, and they don't like giving up the big explosive plays. That's why I used the word methodical when describing this game. On the other side, you got a Bills offense that is absolutely humming right now. We saw James Cook go off, and we saw Josh Allen play a 100 out of 100 game. But I also like the way this Ravens defense is trending. Do I think they played some bad quarterbacks near the end of the year? Of course, absolutely. You get DTR, you get Bailey Zappi. That helps the stats and helps everyone's confidence. But the point still stands. This Ravens defense is much improved in the secondary. And I'm also thinking about, okay, the Bills are probably going to try to run the ball a lot this game. And I think they will have some success. But one thing about the Ravens defense, and it's been a constant the whole year, they've been a top five run defense. So I think that continues, and I think both teams start the game a little bit slow. It's just normal. And when two Goliaths play each other in the playoffs, these games always start off a little bit tight. And I know it's a different matchup, but let's just think of Bills-Chiefs games in the past when the Chiefs were actually an elite offense. The games are, everyone thinks they're going to see a shootout. Everyone thinks it's going to be 35-30, but the games are more methodical and balanced than people think. The team total is 26.5 for the Ravens. I don't have a great read there. Bills 25.5. I don't have a great read there. I would probably go under on both of them. The first half total is one I want you to look at. If you don't feel comfortable going to under 51 for the full game total, I do like the first half total of 24.5. Like I said, I think both teams start a little bit nervous. I think both defenses will come to play. And like I said, it's playoff football. It's going to be cold weather. It's going to be in Buffalo. The crowd's going to be humming. And maybe that affects the Ravens to start the game. But I also think this Ravens defense can affect the Bills offense. So I like the under in the first half, 24.5, but the full game total is 51. I like the borderline money pick there. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. Over, under 44. I like the under for the full game total. But I have money picks in other places here. Now, here's why I like the under of 44. Firstly, let's start with the Rams. This Rams offense has shown high variance this whole year. You can just look at their Saints game. You can look at them playing the Patriots. They'll put together a great quarter and a half and be a below average offense for the other 3 quarters. That's just been the Rams. And you saw how they started the game against the Minnesota Vikings. They were absolutely hitting on all cylinders. They got the ball down the field. But I think that will be difficult against the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, I know the Eagles play a lot of zone, and that's where Matt Stafford's at his best, but the point still stands. This Eagles defense is for real, and this Rams offense is at their best when Kyren Williams is going forward for 4 or 5 yards a pop, and I'm not sure that's going to happen. If Josh Jacobs and that Packers offensive line struggled, I can't see the Rams getting good headway. Like, I think Sean McVay is going to have a very good game plan. That's why I'm not betting the over-under 44 for the whole game. But we have other plays here. On the other side, I am worried about Jalen Hurts, guys. I am really worried about Jalen Hurts. I mean, he hasn't been in passing rhythm this whole year. It's certainly not been his best year. And can I be honest about something? I have no evidence. I have no inside source. But I think this concussion was one of the more serious concussions. I didn't even see Hurts going hard running the ball like he normally does. We actually saw him slide, which is something we don't see. And the few times he got hit against the Green Bay Packers, he got up slower than normal. Maybe I'm overanalyzing, maybe I'm overthinking. But one thing we can all watch and analyze with our own 2 eyes is he's just bouncing balls. He's out of rhythm. He's out of sorts. And when I use the word rhythm, it goes for both of these offenses. The Philadelphia Eagles offense is at their best when they have a lead and they're pounding people, and that's when they find their rhythm. But both of these offenses, if it's a close game, I could see them getting out of rhythm, and that's why I lean the under. Here's the money pick. Money! Money! First half. Under 22.5. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And this Rams team has been a terrible first quarter team the whole year in terms of putting up points, in terms of point differential. The Eagles offense hasn't been great to start games as well. You can put in the stats and look it up for yourself. But I also think both of these defenses are going to be the story of the game. You have a Rams defensive line that is young and they're deep. They cycle in 6, 7, 8 bulls. And I love Jared Verse and Fisk. It is tough to stop the Eagles' running attack, but I do think they'll have a better swing at it than they did in the first meeting. I think Saquon starts going off in the second half once they tire down. But to start the first half, I think this Rams defense will be ready, and I believe they'll be on point. Same thing with the Eagles defense. I'm not sure the Rams are going to start the game gang-busting in full rhythm and gusto like they did against the Vikings. The Vikings were caught off guard. I just can't see the Eagles at home being caught off guard. And also, I never really liked the Rams traveling across the country. I'm not a big fan of the Rams in cold weather situations. I know Stafford's arm is strong, but we've seen it waver a little bit this year. I do think the Rams need time to get into the game, and I also think the Eagles need time to get into the game. I'm going under the first half, 22.5. Make it a money pick. Another money pick I have. Let's get to the team totals. 17.5 for the Rams. I don't have a strong lean on that. I really don't. I guess I'm going over. But the strong lean I have on the team total is the Eagles. The Eagles team total is 26.5. I'm going under here. And it's because, like I said, this Rams defense, I think they'll be competitive against the run. I worry about Hurts getting in the rhythm. I worry about just everything to do with Hurts' health and everything surrounding him. We can talk about Saquon Barkley, but there are limits to this. And I used the word methodical in the previous game. The Rams have been methodical on offense this whole year. Not a lot of big plays, long drives. And the Eagles have also been methodical on offense. And I think they'll be methodical radical again. I'm going under the 26.5 team total for the Philadelphia Eagles money pick, and I love the first half under 22.5. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Washington no-names at the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell, over under 55.5. I'm going over. I can't say I'm in love with this over, and I can't say I have a good read on it. You guys know I've been pretty damn good on the over-unders the whole year, but I struggle when it gets to 52.5, 55.5. Hell, that 57.5 we saw with Vikings-Lions, I struggle in these because I don't have a lot of experience betting him. But I guess I have to lean over because Jaden Daniels is an absolute beast. Jared Goff and this Lions run game are an absolute machine. And you have a Commanders defense that has struggled to stop the run the whole year. Deron Payne coming into this game banged up. I think that spells trouble for the Commanders defense. And here's why I can't make it a money pick. But here's what I'm wondering, and you guys can give me some feedback in the comment section. It was the Lions' defensive performance an admiration against the Vikings. I know they got a little bit healthier, but look at how many starters they lost on defense, and look at how well they played against the Vikings. But then you look at Sam Darnold against the Rams. It was pretty much the same performance with the same point tally. And maybe we are overrating this Lions defense coming into this game. Like, I do think the Lions with that week off will help their defense. I do think Anzalone coming back is a huge, huge addition to this linebacking core. I'm just wondering out loud, are we overrating the Detroit defense going into this game? The team totals are this: 22.5 for the no-names. I'm going over. 33.5 for the Lions. I guess I'm going over. Both are the smallest leans in the world. If you had to bet one of these team totals, I guess I would go the Commanders. Like I said, I don't have the strongest lean on this. If you wanted a long shot, Detroit team total over 39.5 at plus 280 could be appetizing, but I want no part of the totals in this game. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. Over under 41.5. Money, money, money. Borderline. I'm not going with the 41.5. But the money pick is on the Texans team total at 15.5. I mean, that is really, really low. And this Texans offense has been average at best this year. And the Chiefs secondary does seem to be getting healthy. But I do think this is the most vulnerable secondary Spagnuolo and Reed have had during this dominant era. So if it's 15.5, man, there's a lot of things that can go right in terms of game state and game flow that can get us over that without the Texans offense playing well, without the Texans even being competitive in the game. Now, I'll get back into that, but the over under 41.5 for the full game, I'm going under, but I don't have a great lean on this because when I was guessing the scores for this game, I was guessing like 24-17, 23-17, and they land right on the dot. Not enough for me to give a big conviction, but I got to go under because my initial guess at a score was 23-17, 24-17, Chiefs victory. So when you look at the Chiefs team total, though, at 26.5, I have to go under. I really do have to go under. Like, I think the Chiefs are getting the bye week at the right time, but when you get 25, 27, 28 days without football, that has to have some effect on the rhythm, right? That has to have some effect on an offense that has struggled this year. Like, I know there's like a point where obviously Travis Kelce needs to get healthy. Obviously D-Hop's in his 30s. He's going to need this time. And Marquise Brown is going to need this time. Like, I can see the positives, but I can also see the negatives because this Texan secondary is very, very good. But I don't think this game is going to turn into a blowout or a laugher. But let's get back to this Texans team total. If you think the Chiefs are going to blow through them and cover this easy, which a lot of people think, and I don't blame them, because this Texans team has been mid all year, and that's me being nice. But if you think the Chiefs are just going to blow out and boat race the Texans, then this team total of 15.5 for the Texans should look absolutely brilliant to you. Garbage time points, Chiefs putting the ball in the end zone, lots of possessions and opportunities for the Texans. Listen, that's why this +8 is so dangerous on the spread. That's open to garbage time points, and this 15.5 is shockingly low for a Texans offense. Like, it's not the fucking Titans. Like, I get it. They're like going to Arrowhead, but this isn't Mac Jones or Will Levis going into Arrowhead. Stroud and Nico Collins and Joe Mixon still have weight on their name, and they proved it last week. Borderline money pick on the 15.5 team total for the Texans. Let me just go over the money picks because I'm trying to keep this as organized as possible. Borderline money pick under 51 in Ravens Bills. I do like the first half under in that as well, 24.5. Rams at Eagles. I like the team total under for the Eagles, 26.5 money pick. But the money pick I love is the first half under Rams and Eagles, 22.5. No names, Lions, no real lean on that. And the Texans and Chiefs, I like the team total, 15.5. Texans, borderline money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Everyone have a great week. Enjoy the football.